brushed your teeth this morning? You probably don't want to not raise your hand, right? But don't you feel guilty? You live in a city which is known for what? A water crisis. The entire country knows that you guys may be running out of water potentially within the next 2 decades. Some predict Lake Mead is going to dry up by 2021. Now, how many of you brush your teeth and let that water run? Does anybody want to raise their hand now? But you know what? If a couple million people in this city and all the travelers who came here were a little bit more aware and knew not to let that water run all the way down the drain, it would make a big impact, would it not? Just that little bit. How many of you took a shower today? How many of you were married? Did you shower with your spouse? No, sometimes that might take longer, so you gotta be very careful. But if you have to do that, then get in the tub. You know what? It's just awareness and choices. What I would like to do today is to convince you that even if you make a little change, you're making a difference in our environment. If you'd like to make an even bigger change, that's even better. So water in Vegas here. We can all learn a lesson here from Vegas. There are low flow toilets. There are many things we can even do to our own home. Did you know in Vegas, a lot of people say, oh, you go to Vegas, they can't possibly have a water problem because you see all the fountains and so forth. But what's interesting is the Strip, 70% of the water is used in the indoors. That means it's going through our interior plumbing systems. We're bathing in it, we're brushing our teeth, we're drinking it, we're cooking with it. Only 30% on the Strip is actually used for landscaping or those pretty lakes you see out there. But in our homes, not only in Vegas, and this is consistent throughout the United States, 70% of the water we use, I come from Florida. I will tell you right now, I feel horrible that we run our sprinkler system twice a week to water grass. What a waste of water. And you know, we've got water issues in Florida as well. But we need to be aware, and we need to think about what we can do to make a difference. Something else that's interesting about Vegas is when you fly in, the airport is so close to the Strip here. We flew in, my husband and I flew in a few days ago, got a taxi right over here, didn't have to rent a car because we've got all kinds of transportation. And it is so easy to walk here. This has got to be one of the best walking cities in the United States. You've got walkways over the Strip, walkways between buildings. You're laughing, John. I know. You know what? But you know what? I had to wear different shoes every day because I'm getting like blisters and aches and pains on different spots of my feet. But that's probably good for the economy because it makes us buy more shoes, right? Our feet actually do adapt. We probably all have pretty good butts from sitting in our car. Now maybe you guys, because you live on the Strip, who walked to work today? Public transportation? Step up. All right, John. Everybody else is guilty of a car, huh?
Not guilty.
Home business.
Home business?
You walk to
You
work.
live here? You live here at the Luxor?
No.
If I work to work, I'd get there tomorrow.
What's that?
If I work to work, I'd get there tomorrow.
Yeah. And, you know what's interesting? Is think about this. This is the third thing about Vegas. Aside from the water issues and things you can do, some of the transportation differences that you have in this city, now I'm speaking specifically about the Strip. If you live in the suburbs, that's part of the rest of the American issue, which is our dependence on oil and our cars, right? But what's interesting about the Strip is you've got phenomenal architecture that's exciting to be around, creative shopping spaces. You know, when you come here and you haven't been here for a couple years, you just realize the scale and how cool it is, and what a neat thing it would be to live in a community where you could actually walk and not have to get in your car to go every place you have to go. Do you know how much time the average American spends in their car? It is unbelievable how much of our lives we spend in a vehicle that's burning gas, taking us from here to there. I live in the suburbs. I feel guilty about it too. But What I think that the world can learn from Vegas is to get some of these amazing architects who put together this city and put together communities like this. Now I'm just sleeping here, and it's, maybe it wouldn't be so exciting if I lived in a condo and then walked all the time. But this is a way of life. We've gotten used to it, and it's something we can really think about. I think the world can learn a lot from Vegas. What I would like to encourage you to do, though, is to open up your awareness. Think about what you're doing, what your actions are doing to the environment, whether it's your water, the gas you're burning. The next day, whether you choose to walk, take a bike, take public transportation, or that last resort, get in your car all by yourself to take yourself where you need to go. Shopping is an American pastime. How many countries can say that? We just, for the fun of it, go shopping to buy more stuff to put in our big houses that we have to air condition and water the lawn that surrounds them so that we have a little bit of space from our neighbors. And we might even have a private pool in the backyard. That's a lot of toothbrushing. But the good news is we can make, even if we make little differences, and if we tell our friends, if we even just ask that question, when I go any place, if I go to a store and I take a return, I say, are you going to recycle that bag for me? If they say no, I stuff it back in my purse and I take it with me because I want to make sure it's going to get recycled, or I'm going to reuse it again, and it's not going to just end up in a landfill. Now imagine if 1 million people do that. California has already banned these plastic bags. And in Florida, in a lot of places now, they charge you a nickel for the bag, or they give you a nickel credit if you bring your own bag in. All these little things. I just would like to inspire you to be aware and think, you're going to recycle that can?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know how long that styrofoam lasts? It takes 500 years for styrofoam to go down in a landfill.
Actually, he's going to put it in his wall so it can insulate the insulation.
Excellent.
Keep him from using
We've
too
got
much
a
electricity.
spot for this. So please, open your awareness and make small changes if you can, and make even bigger changes when you get the opportunities. Thank you, Madam Toastmaster.